I am Reed. I am 27, just an average dude. I have made tons of money mistakes in my 20s, and now I want to share everything I've learned to help you take control of your finances and your life. So this is how I built a business doing roughly 42 grand a month while only working about 15 hours a week. But more importantly, we are talking about 20 to 25 grand a month in profit, which honestly is the only number that really matters. Revenue is cool, and all but profit is what pays your bills and fills your savings account. I want to break this down year by year in the clearest way possible so you can actually take this and do something with it. Now, you might have heard parts of my story before, but let me give you the full picture. I run a real estate lead generation and appointment setting company. Super simple. Offer nothing fancy. I help real estate agents get more clients and I set appointments for them. That's it. And look, I know I am biased, but in my opinion, the easiest business model someone watching this could start literally tomorrow is an agency of some kind. Why? Because the barrier to entry is basically zero. You do not need inventory. You do not need a warehouse. You do not need to drop thousands of dollars on product before you even make your first sale. Back in early 2022, when I started this thing, my time was not worth very much. And when you freelance, you get matched with that value. You only work when someone agrees to pay you. Compare that to, say, an e-com brand selling t-shirts. You would be in the hole for a few grand just on inventory before you even see a single dollar come in, and that's not even counting ads and fulfillment and all that other stuff. That is why the agency model just makes sense for regular people like us. You trade your skill for money with zero upfront cost. Let me walk you through where the numbers actually came from. I started this thing in early 2022, and I was in a pretty unique spot. I had been working at a company for about 4 years doing basically the same thing. And then my boss, he came to me and said, "Hey man, I am shutting this down. I made my money. I had a kid. I just want out." And he gave me his blessing to take over. So I looked at myself in the mirror and I thought, this is my moment. This is the time where I actually run with this thing. So I took that road and I never looked back. I was lucky enough that I inherited some of the old clients I used to work with. They were interested in working with me directly, so I reached out to my entire old database and I secured my first 10 to 12 grand a month in freelance contracts, just like that. Now, I know that sounds like a lucky break, and honestly it was, but here's the thing: I spent 4 years building those relationships. I showed up every day, I did good work, and I built trust. So when the opportunity came, I was ready. That is the part people do not see. They see the lucky break, but they do not see the 4 years of grinding before that. So for the rest of 2022, I just freelanced. I worked like a dog. 12-hour days doing all the calls, all the setting, all the ads, running myself into the ground. But towards the end of summer, I started to really feel the fruits of that work. I closed my biggest customer at 4 grand a month. That does not sound crazy, I know. But that one client was paying me the same as my entire salary back in 2021. That was wild to me. I ended that year making around 310 to 320 grand gross. And after taxes and all expenses software, everything, I had 120 grand sitting in my checking account. That was insane to me. Full transparency here, I was not doing much investing at that point. When you quit your job, you go into fight or flight mode. All I wanted was to stack 100 grand liquid, so I knew I was safe. I still had most of my money tied up in my house, so seeing that cash in my account was a huge win. I needed to know that if everything fell apart tomorrow, I would be okay. And honestly, that peace of mind was worth more than any investment return I could have gotten. Now, 2023 was our peak for sure. So many things were happening. Heads were spinning. Some things went wrong. Some things went right. Our peak month hit 65 to 70 grand a month. I focused on high-value customers. I chased more enterprise-level clients with bigger budgets and higher lead flow, and I really focused on hiring to buy my time back. That was a huge lesson for me. I went through 2 or 3 really bad setters before I found one really good one. She is still with me today, absolute shark. But she was expensive, and I hesitated. I thought, man, do I really want to pull the trigger on this? But I did it, and it was the best decision I ever made. See, most people are afraid to spend money to make money. They want to hold on to every dollar and do everything themselves. But that keeps you stuck working in your business instead of on your business. Hiring that one person changed everything for me. I worked a lot less, and I made a lot more. That is the goal, right? Cold email became our main way of getting new clients because my network had dried up by then. I used BuiltWith, which is an awesome tool, and a few cold email sending softwares to really scale things. And referrals were coming in too because we were doing great work. I hammered out case studies that year. I think I got like 20 total, which was insane. Full video reviews, testimonials. The whole thing. That became our biggest asset. People trust proof more than they trust promises. Now, 2024, I am not going to lie. It was a tougher year, lower overall revenue, but actually the same level of profit percentage-wise. I got ruthless with expenses. I watched every single dollar going out, and I cut everything I could. I got that from John D. Rockefeller, actually. I read his biography and took one thing from it that has served me incredibly well. You need to be ruthless about cutting expenses in your business and your personal life. That mindset alone probably saved me tens of thousands of dollars. But I made some big mistakes too. I procrastinated running ads. I thought it was cool to be like, yeah, all our growth is organic. But dude, the biggest companies in the world run ads. It is the most efficient way to get new customers. I did not understand that at the time. I also did not nurture my leads properly. I did not have an email nurture software set up. So if someone was not ready to buy right away and said follow up with me in 6 months, I never heard from them again. I was horrible at managing my CRM. I know for a fact I lost tens of thousands of dollars because of that. It hurt to realize that, but admitting it was the first step to fixing it. Towards the end of that year, I finally got an email nurture system set up. Now I can stay in touch with people, send them new case studies, and keep myself top of mind. That alone was a huge breakthrough. Sometimes the simplest fixes make the biggest difference. Now 2025, where are we today? I am still running this thing over 3 years now. A lot of these young guys you see online, they will make 100 grand a month for 6 months and then they crash and burn. They blow all their money on a Lamborghini and then they are broke again. I have just been focused on preserving my cash and building something sustainable. As I am filming this in April 2025, this is the most profitable we have ever been from a percentage standpoint. Extremely lean team. It could even get a little leaner actually. And we are finally running paid ads, which has been the biggest lever we could pull when you can turn $1 into $4 or $5. That is where the real magic happens. That spread is everything. I want to be fully transparent with you guys though. I am a bit bored. I do not hide the fact that I am in this agency thing mostly for the money at this point. That happened around summer of 2023. It is the same thing over and over, and honestly, it got repetitive. But when I see that check hit my account at the end of every month, or when I see that account growing, I know I am on the right track. It would be financially irresponsible for me to just shut this down or jump into some shiny new opportunity because of FOMO. So I keep going. I built a solid enough position that God forbid something happens tomorrow, I am totally fine. That is the whole point, right? Financial security, so you can sleep at night. Now I want to get into what you can actually do to replicate this, because I know a lot of you watching are thinking, okay, cool, story read, but how do I do this for myself? Here's the game plan. Step 1, if you have industry expertise in a specific field, whether that is contractors, real estate, lawyers, whatever, start an agency within that space. You already know the language, you already know the objections your customers will have. You already know how to speak their language. That gives you a massive head start. If you are a straight beginner with no work experience, try to ride the wave of whatever is trending right now. AI is the obvious one. Start an AI implementation service for a very specific industry. For example, help lawyers automate their appointment booking and lead follow-up. Help them feed customer data in an automated way and handle paperwork. There is serious money in that. Step 2, and this is the most important one, lead with customer acquisition first. Wake up every single day for the next 90 days and ask yourself, where is my next customer coming from? That is it. Cold email, cold DMs, cold calls, I do not care. All of this can be done for free. Just do it until you land your first 3 to 5 clients, or what I like to call your first 3 to 5 case studies. Work for free until you cannot. If you work for free long enough, you will be forced to be able to charge a high ticket amount. But until then, your time is not worth very much if you have never proven yourself before. You cannot blame a business for not wanting to hire you when you have zero proof. Sometimes a case study is worth more than whatever retainer they are going to pay you anyway. You need proof. You need video proof that you can do what you say you can do. Step 3, do the fulfillment yourself until you hit at least 10 grand a month. You will learn so much by actually doing the work. Too many people want to skip the hard part. They are thinking about logos and business websites and t-shirts before they even have a single customer. Dude, you need customers. That is your lifeblood. That is your oxygen. Learn the process inside and out, so when you do hire someone, you can actually teach them what to do. You will know what can go wrong and how to fix it. I have had employees try to waste my time, but I knew the process better than they did, so I could call them out on it. Here's the thing that nobody tells you about building a business in your 20s. It is going to be messy. You are going to make mistakes. You are going to lose money sometimes. You are going to feel like quitting, but that is all part of the process. The people who win are not the smartest or the most talented. They are the ones who just refuse to stop. They keep showing up even when it sucks. I think agencies are not going anywhere. The model works and it will keep working. You just have to ride the wave as best you can. Start small, prove yourself, and then scale. Do not try to be a millionaire overnight. Try to be a thousandaire first. Get your first client, get your first win, and build from there. If you made it this far, I want to see you win. Comment below if you have questions or businesses that you are starting. Let me know what you are working on, and I will try to help however I can. This stuff changed my life, and I know it can change yours too if you just take that first step. Peace.